Never have I ever been more excited and terrified to make a video like this. Half-Life is one of those games where it laid the groundwork for so many games to use as a sort of inspiration on its atmosphere, storytelling, and you still see its influence to this day. With the creation of Valve, I believe that this was one of the first games they ever made, or at least was a huge success, where it led to games like Portal, Team Fortress, Left 4 Dead, and Counter-Strike. Funny enough, I actually got paid in a Counter-Strike skin. It was my Gamma Doppler gut knife, and I still love that knife to this day. Looks on you, that keyboard is no longer worth that value, and that skin has doubled in price. I didn't grow up as a PC gamer. I mainly grew up playing Nintendo games, PlayStation games, and it wasn't until later on where I really did get into PC, but that was mostly to play MapleStory and Sudden Attack, a lot of Flash games. I see a lot more people actually talking about Half-Life 2 instead of the first one, which got me thinking, why is that? I know that Half-Life 1 was not only the first game developed by Valve, or at least a successful one, but it was one of those games where I don't really see many people talking about it anymore. I see a lot more people talking about Half-Life 2, Half-Life Alyx, when they're talking about that series in general, but mostly that people are more hoping for Half-Life 3. No, but seriously, I've only heard people talking about Gordon Freeman and the G-Man. That's about it. That's all I heard from the first game, and the second game having way more iconic set pieces. I finally want to sit down and actually play it for myself so I can give my own opinions and give my own takes on what the first ever Half-Life game was. I'll be playing the original version, as I heard that originally with modern hardware, you actually can't play it that well, as it will always crash or be buggy. But with updates that were sent out, I think a couple years ago, it actually was stable for modern hardware, and that's what the version I'll be looking at today. I know about the Black Mesa mod, as a couple friends told me about it, but I wanted to give the original its chance in the spotlight, so to speak, just because it's one of those games where I really don't see much footage of it. I want to see what this game was like in the sense of setting some groundwork and laying the foundation for first-person storytelling, as it's something that I never really got to see for, when I was growing up. So let's get into this episode. Welcome back to Backlog.
Good morning and welcome to the Black Mesa Transit System. This automated train is provided for the security and convenience of the Black Mesa Research Facility personnel.
Let me start off with saying this intro has me so fucking hyped and scared at the same time. You start off by going through this entire gigantic warehouse as if it's a new day at your old workplace. And honestly, it's because it is. You really get this feeling of, oh, I'm actually just going to work. I'm actually just heading over to my cubicle. Honestly, I can't really imagine you going into work, having to ride this trolley as if it's an elevator ride every single day just to go to your cubicle. Come on. Oh, fuck. When you finally get off the ride, you're actually told to head into the research facility and go to the back offices to suit up as if that's one of your responsibilities. It's actually told to you that you're going to be inside the test chamber today and working with the samples. The way that you communicate with your other scientists and security guards is actually really natural. You talk as if this is just another day, another sample to work with. You finally get told what your character's name is, and it's the legendary, the handsome, the sexy Gordon Freeman. Now that name is one of the most iconic names in all of video game history. When you go into the back offices to get suited up with the hazard suit, that's where you see that staple orange themed color. The orange color is actually super iconic to Steam's identity. More than the blue itself, I actually remember seeing a lot of this orange color and this orange theming all around Valve's early days of marketing, especially with the thing called an orange box, which had Team Fortress 2, Half-Life 2, and Portal for people on console. When you finally get into the test chamber, they actually tell you that today is going to be a little bit more intense as they found a more pure version of the sample they've been testing around, and they don't know how it's going to react. Oh no. Holy shit. Well, I guess it gets straight to the point. Kind of like how you should get straight to hitting the subscribe. I can't do this. One thing that people did not tell me about this game is that it straight up is like a natural horror game. The first thing that you see out of this test chamber is things being blown up, bodies on the ground as the explosion not only affected yourself in the test chamber, but all the scientists that you came in to agree with. You see people trying to stop their co-workers from bleeding out, rubble everywhere, security guards killing these alien creatures. You have to defend yourself with just a lowly crowbar, which again is one of the most important weapon of this entire series. As you're going along, you're told to get to the surface and to try to get topside on. Why is there a businessman? Actually, you see this guy all throughout the facility who just casually walks from the beginning, and throughout the chaos, he's still there, even to the last part of the facility as well. But as you're going on, you're not only seeing these otherworldly creatures, but also people from the military, maybe a private militia. These guys are gunning down everyone. Yeah, actually later on, you see that the guards specifically call out Gordon Freeman, and one of the missions is actually called Forget Gordon. There's a lot of sketchy stuff going on. And as you go along, you see all manners of these alien creatures, like head crabs, lightning mages, the imps from Doom, and other creatures big and small. Now, as you go along, you have to go through the sewers, warehouses, minefields, weapon shacks, radioactive parts of the building as well. Listen, I don't know how some of these scientists are still standing there 2 feet away from a radioactive pool when they have a white lab coat and we have a literal state-of-the-art hazardous suit that protects us from the element. Like, what is this? Again, if you're not fighting these aliens, you're actually fighting the army guys that have been sent to wipe out everyone who has to do with this project. After fighting through hell and back, you literally go to hell? Well, actually, this seems like the actual home planet / dimensions of these creatures that breach into ours. You see the big bosses for the dimension being this crab enemy and this baby creature thing. Why does this look like with the one Bankai from the one captain from Bleach? After you defeat the final boss, you talk to the businessman they've seen throughout the campaign, which I know the name of this guy because when you talk about Half-Life, you can't just talk about Gordon Freeman or the crowbar. You got to talk about the guy behind, or at least the guy in front of the people pulling the strings, which is the G-Man. He's actually one of the elusive characters that's been watching us during the entire time. And he talks about his employer, how they orchestrated this entire thing, and asking Gordon Freeman if he would like to be a part of the company. With no other options, it seems like I have to join him, and now we're hired to the company. Okay, let me get one thing clear. I get why this game is iconic. I really do. But this did not hold up well in today's age. Let me get the good parts out of the way first. The atmosphere. It's so eerily scary for a game this old. Like, I was genuinely getting scared to turn around a corner and find a different enemy there. And right when I didn't expect it, bam, a new enemy just popped out of nowhere, and it was terrifying. It felt like I had to jiggle peek every single corner. It's like I was in a CS match. The actual levels make it feel like you're really going through a research facility. You can tell that something is going on with the multiple testing of these tiny little head crab creatures. But the moment that the explosion happens and these bigger creatures pop out of the dimension, all hell breaks loose. It really puts into perspective that these scientists had no real control over what they were researching. Okay, and now for the bad. There's kind of a bit. Let me get started with the one thing that actually made me almost quit the game entirely, which was the platforming. I can't count how many times I accidentally jumped onto a platform only for me to slip off and take some fall damage or something like that. It was ridiculous. It felt so floaty. It felt like every single piece of surface had this thick slab of ice that I didn't know was actually going to catch me. Every time I think I would make it into a ledge or a railing, I would just fall off and take fall damage. every time I would get to the next section, it was not uncommon for me to just have no health or no full health. Listen, it got to the point towards the end where I was tempted to stop playing and go to the Black Mesa mod instead. But me being stubborn, I really wanted to try out the original. I don't know, maybe it's because of my fucking pride or something like that, but it is what it is. Okay, let me get to the actual aim, because, okay, this might have been a me thing, honestly, but the way that you have to shoot and aim is like fully automatic and locks into enemy, which is nice. But when I actually have to aim to anticipate different creatures moving or something, I would legit miss because it locked on too hard to the enemy. Like, this damn crossbow was so rough for me, especially with this one water enemy. The gun seemed fine too. It had a nice selection of like the standard pistol, some machine guns, shotguns, rocket launchers, I have no idea what this is. Why the fuck does it hurt me? I threw it in the first place. I still think the best weapon is the Magnum. I was one-shotting enemies left and right and taking down heavier enemies with only a few shots. It was great, but I always ran out of bullets at the worst time, but I guess that's part of the resource management aspect of the game. Kind of like a Resident Evil type of experience. The one thing that seemed lacking, so to speak, was the actual genuine interaction between Gordon, the scientist, and the security guard. Towards the end, it kind of felt like Gordon was just some sort of errand boy that was to get to the next section. It was really nice to see that iconic ending and the raspy voice of G-Man.
You've proved yourself a decisive man, so I don't expect you'll have any trouble deciding what to do.
Just having that situation between a rock and a hard place and going to the employment of a higher power that seemed to orchestrate this entire fiasco was crazy to finally see. Not knowing what's going to happen for the future of Gordon, I can see why people were happy and excited about Half-Life 2. Oh, before I forget, I also played the multiplayer. Apparently there's a lot of servers still going on with this game. I played it for like 10 minutes and it was like your standard Quake type of multiplayer. I just kept picking up guns and shooting and messing around with the physics and such like that. The maps are cool, but I didn't put too much effort into this, honestly, because by this point it was okay. Oh, so the auto aim was my fault. I could have turned it off. Son of a bitch. And that's my review of Half-Life 1. I will say that I did try out the Black Mesa mod that people have recommended to me. And I do think that if you ever want to give this game a chance, try playing that version, as this one was okay in its physics. I do think that the story overall was okay at best. It definitely got me thinking about what is actually going on. But I do think the Black Mesa mod is a little bit better in that aspect. I will say though that this game came out in 1998, which was almost crazy to think about, because I was looking at research at what games came out in this year, and oh my gosh, it is stacked. You got games like the OG StarCraft, Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. You got Crash Bandicoot 3, Banjo-Kazooie, which is another game I really want to see. Metal fucking Gear, right? And oh my gosh, it was so funny. I saw that Heart of Darkness came out this time as well, and no wonder the competition was fierce. That's definitely because of Heart of Darkness, not. Even after everything, I know that Half-Life 3 is a game that's still anticipated by a lot of fans. Recently, with the announcement of the GameCube or the Steam Machine that's been released, I know that there was rumors about Half-Life 3 being officially announced. I hope so. I really do. I just want an excuse to actually be like, oh, if Half-Life 3 comes out or gets announced, I will be playing Half-Life 2 immediately and making a video about that, because my God, I probably will maybe I'll just review all the Half-Life games, right? I know that there's a couple of side games that were also out at the same time. Maybe I'll try the VR version as well for Half-Life Alyx. I'm a little torn on what game I want to play next, just because there's a lot of games out there, and it's one of those things like, oh, I have too many games to play, but I don't know which one to actually start. Well, with the weather being colder now, I did want to try to get into more darker stories. And I don't know, I'm a little torn between 3 games right now. That being BioShock, Dishonored, and Undertale. Undertale is one of those games where I remember playing it. I don't remember beating it, right? Which could have been a me thing. I do that all the time. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys are enjoying the series, remember to subscribe. Let me know what games that you would like to see in the future, or maybe other games I've never heard about, or games I have heard about. And I finally have an excuse to actually sit down and play them. Thank you so much for watching episode 2 of Backlog. Logging off.
What you think you have learned? Cut. The music was so much class.